Armstead and this Bubba. I got Bunny by accident. That's my spell check. Bubba Ventrone from the Indianapolis Colts, who possibly could come in. Hey, Brandy, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. How do you feel about Mike Prefer parting of ways?
I was kind of surprised when I saw the notification. I didn't think that they would let him go, especially because they already, got rid of Joe Woods, and that was, a few weeks ago already. So I figured they would already, made some moves. But I think special teams wasn't too bad last season. I think their biggest problem was just choosing who to put back there to make the returns.
Hmm. Yeah, and I was asking Eddie about the timing as well, regarding that. So it's a kind of a surprise at the timing. It's just like, why didn't you just let him go when you let go Joe Woods instead of waiting all this time? But somebody might have been saying that, it might have been a good separation where, they did him a solid and let him probably interview for other jobs and stuff like that while he was still employed with the Browns, before they let him go. So they might have given him some time to do that, So they were talking about that they might have, looked out for him as they've looked out for players before in the past and stuff like that. So, but like I said, I don't feel sorry for Millionaire, so he'll be all right. He'll get another job in football, but he'll be okay. But I think the timing of it shocked a lot of people. And, we were talking about, he has that playoff win, one of our first playoff wins in a long time. So, you can give that to him and his credit as well.
Yeah, because you can't give it to Stefanski because he didn't do it.
Yeah. Stefanski was at home on his couch chilling.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, can you believe that was 3 long years ago?
Yep.
And the Browns have not made any progress since then.
Well, yeah. So they're supposed to be talking to the Colts special teams, and then they also supposed to be talking to New York, the Giants assistant special teams coach, coordinator, however you want to put it. So,
what's his name?
Anthony, I can't think of it. The Belvins. I want to say Anthony Belvins. I think his name. I think that's his name. I'm almost certain. Belvin, Believing, something like that. It's something like that. I have to look it up though, but I want to say Anthony Believing. I could be wrong.
Yeah, so now we have 4 coaching vacancies on the staff, and that's kind of a lot to have.
For 1 year.
Mike Prefer had been here for 3 years. Pretty much he had came over from he coached with Stefanski in Minnesota, so he brought him over. Man, that's foul. You brought your boy over, and then you get rid of him or whatever. But hey, he came here for the opportunity. But it is what it is. So the Browns, hopefully, they'll bring in people who will be able to right this ship. And is can you afford to happen can we afford for this to happen in phases, to change over, or does it all have to be right now this year, go all in?
I mean, they talking to Utah's defensive coordinator from Utah State, as far as defensive coordinator going. Like I said, they got a couple people for the special teams they have already been searching for. Utah State defensive coordinator. Shoot, can't think of his name. I'm losing it right now, guys. I'm sorry. Let me go look this guy up. So as far as we know, he played for. So he's from the Utes, Utah State Utes. The defense last year was pretty good. Their defense last year was top notch. Will it transfer over to the NFL? Is the question, or is it another waste of time? Because you gotta understand, he's not a big name. He's not a big name. He's not like you went and got somebody from the NFL who's already established. You're going to get a college coach to try to change them around the program.
Mm-hmm.
Will it work? or will we be in the same predicament in another year or two? It's like we're in this. It's like a rotating door. We just keep going around the same circle. It's getting tiresome.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting tiresome.
Yeah, Brandy, you what you think really quickly?
Yeah, I agree. You have to kind of figure out, is it going to be a waste of time or not? Like you said, the last playoff win was 3 years ago, and you look at the last talent that we've had, Odell, Jarvis, and it's not working with the talent that we have. They don't have much more time to waste.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take our break right quick. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
The Alcohol, Drug Addiction, and Mental Health Services Board of
I'm trying to time
has an opening for a state-appointed volunteer board of directors position. If you are passionate about making sure Cuyahoga County residents have access to...
Dude, I ran out of gas yesterday on 156.
How you do that, man?
Being stupid.
At 5 o'clock p.m.
Pushing it.
Learn more at ADAMHS.
It was funny. That was like the irony of it was like I had so many opportunities to get gas.
Were you far from home?
Oh yeah, I stayed in Newburgh Heights, but I was on my way to work. But I had so many opportunities.
Your health matters to Neighborhood Family Practice. They can help you prevent COVID or other health issues like diabetes.
So how'd you get the gas?
One of my buddies stayed on 185th, so I just called him like, "Hey, I need you to come pick me up, get some gas." Which I'm glad he was at home.
Neighborhood Family Practice takes care of patients no matter their ability to pay.
Because I didn't want to call my insurance company.
Oh yeah, because those count as claims too, which I didn't know because I was having flat tires and I was calling my insurance company and they dropped me not too long after that.
Which is stupid because I'm like, it's a tire flat. It shouldn't be a claim.
And y'all tout this as a service.
Yeah, like that's the dumbest rule. But
I'm like, I should have known better.
I found out they was calling it when my insurance went up.
That what? Oh yeah.
Yeah, my insurance went up. I don't know.
All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. This is your girl Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports, and keep in mind that you can keep it locked here on your regular radio dial at 95.9 FM. You can download the WOVU app so you can listen to us on the go. You can also listen online at WOVU.org, and also you can always contact the station with questions, comments, concerns at 216-271-0959. We're going to have Tim Shire from the Lake County Sentinel joining us very soon. So I said we'll go back to football at the end of the show because there's still some things to cover. But want to get into Cleveland Cavaliers. So the Cleveland Cavaliers are just about to come off All-Star break, so they don't play until the 23rd. So they got a couple more days to rest up before they get into the grueling stretch of the grueling stretch of the second half of the season. Last year this team was sitting in third place, but unfortunately after All-Star break, we had a lot of injuries and we became a play-in team. But I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the departure of Kevin Love, who I think he officially signed a tender to play for the Miami Heat. What are you guys' thoughts about him leaving? And Brandy, I'll take you first.
It is sad he's been here the past, 9 seasons, but, shortly before the All-Star break, JB did take him out of the rotation once Dean Wade was back from injury. So, I kind of figured it was going to happen just because, he has slowed down his pace of play and the Cavs team is very young and he, kind of can't just keep up with them. But I am not surprised, but I am glad, that they're going to be retiring his jersey.
I don't think they should, though. I'm sorry.
Tim, are you with us? Tim? Hey, Tim. I think he might be on hold. We're going to get him together. Hey, Tim.
heard him.
Oh, I hope I didn't hang up on him.
I just heard him.
I did hear him too.
Tim? Nope. I think he hung up on me. Okay.
Okay. But Brandy, go ahead. I'm sorry. Did you finish your point?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, Eddie, go ahead.
I don't think they should retire his jersey. I appreciate what he did for Cleveland.
Oh, you don't feel like his jersey should be retired?
You go retire his jersey. You should retire Kyrie Irving jersey.
I agree with that. That is
You know?
the one thing. Why not Kyrie's?
Why not Kyrie while Kevin Love's?
Tim? Hey Tim, how you doing? Sorry about that, Eddie. Hey Tim, how you doing, sir? Good, I'm doing okay. We were just, you called at the perfect time because we were just started talking a little bit of Cavaliers, and I just got on the subject of Kevin Love, and you're at every game, Tim. So the news about Kevin Love, we kind of knew it was coming because he, expressed his displeasure with what was going on in his playing time, and then he saw the buyout, because he makes about $27 million a year. He sought a buyout on that to go and prove to other teams that he still could play. What are your thoughts about that situation? Yeah, I think so too, because quite possibly we could be facing them in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Tim, do you feel they should retire his jersey? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, cool. So if that's the case, like I was just saying prior to you were calling, if they retire his jersey, do you feel they should retire Kyrie's jersey? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I believe you're going to retire Kevin Love's jersey. Kyrie jersey needs to be hung in the Raptors too. So does LeBron's, but we already know LeBron's going to be retired. Hands down, we already know that. They just didn't retire LeBron's jersey because they think he's coming back. So, but So that's the only reason. The only reason why they haven't retired LeBron jersey yet. But those three guys, if you're gonna retire one, you should retire all three because
I think so too.
because Kyrie was you talk about a major part of that championship team. We talking about Robin the Batman major, like like without Kyrie, that championship would not have been won.
Hmm.
We would have won for
Hmm.
sure,
Hmm.
guaranteed. I could almost guarantee that one
Hmm. Yeah.
because it was a much better team. They were a much better team than Golden State in my eyes that first year. And
Hmm.
look what LeBron did by himself without Kyrie and Kevin Love.
Hmm.
So if you had the help. Oh man, I can almost guarantee that would have been a championship that year.
Yeah, and Tim, Steph Curry talked about it 3 years post 2016, how, Kevin Love, he didn't want to credit Kevin Love with any defense. He just keeps saying, I should have made that shot, because it was funny because I watched the last 6 minutes of that game against today, and all that he did to try to shake Kevin Love, he wasn't able to. So, he kind of alluded to, him missing the shot and, his footwork, instead of just saying, Kevin Love played some really great defense against me, and I just couldn't get the shot to go down.
Pride. Yeah.
Hmm.
Facts.
Hmm. Do Do you think, Tim, and we're speaking with Tim Shire of the Lake County Sentinel, our producer is shaking his head right now, what you just said, Tim. But do you think that Kevin kind of has a little bit of a complicated legacy because, he, helped us win the title, but, that year in which, he had a bad attitude and later came out and said, it was, mental illness, but he kind of abandoned his teammates on the court. So do you think that, he has a legendary status, but it's a little complicated at all? Okay. Hmm. 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 Yeah, and also too, you got to give him kudos for changing his game as well. He was a double double every night when he was in Minnesota. And he was a bigger guy, and he said Chris Bosh, had kind of warned him like your game has to change, and that's when you started to see super skinny Kevin Love instead of getting it in there and banging down low in the low block. You saw Kevin become a 3 point shooter, which was something that was never really much in his repertoire. But his game changed so much because that's what happened when you play with LeBron and Kyrie. So kudos to him. But right now the Cleveland Cavaliers are on their All-Star break. They still have a couple days before they take on Denver, the number one team in the West. So that should be a really interesting matchup. They have Denver at home, so that's going to be absolutely a great game and a great measuring stick. Unfortunately, going into that Philadelphia game, it ended their 7-game winning streak, and they didn't look as good as they normally did. I think that they might have just been tired, or maybe thought that, huh?
Yeah, they look tired to him.
Okay, yeah, I thought so too. Because at times, Philly led by 30 points.
30 points.
But what are your thoughts about this team going into the second half of the season? Okay.
Correct.
You don't think it was Donovan Mitchell getting in there fighting? Change the tune.
That toughness that helped too. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. I think the Golden State game woke them up more because I think they felt they should have won that game, and they lost. And then the Philly game, the last game they played against Philly, like I said, you guys said they looked tired. They definitely looked tired. They came back in the second half, but that first half was rough. I mean, I think we was down for as much as 32 points in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it was rough.
You didn't miss nothing.
You ain't miss nothing. It was rough. I watched the full game and I'm like, man, I don't know why I'm torturing myself. But the third quarter they came out blazing. Like it was like a night and day team, and that's something that and Tim, I want to ask you this too, what you think about it. But I feel like for them to make a good push in the playoffs, they have to quit coming out flat in the first half. That's something that we have done almost all season. Come out flat and then turn up in the third and fourth quarter. And yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And I was just about to say that. I was about to say, or vice versa. They come out flat in the first quarter, pick it up in the second quarter, come out flat in the third quarter, and take it away in the fourth. And that's another thing that like we need more consistency or like I said, or vice versa. You come out flat in the first and second quarter, then you come out strong in the third and fourth. It's never a consistent play with the Cavs, and I think there's gonna be a problem if we make it to the play or when we make it to the playoff. I ain't gonna say if. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I don't feel they had that toughness during that time. Like I think they were looking for that toughness because I'm like, you got Evan Mobley. He think he's Steph Curry. He's shooting threes from everywhere, and it's like, yo, like, dude, you're 7 feet tall. If you don't get in that pass, yes, you're not a big guy as far as weight, but you're a big dude.
Mhm.
I know Coral is a 3-point shooter. He's not a 2-point shooter.
But they keep taking them like they Steph Curry. And me and Tim talk about this all the time.
It irritates me so bad. I be watching the game like, dude, you shoot another shot, I was gonna punch you, bro. Like, quit shooting threes. You're not Steph Curry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like the mid range has disappeared. Like, there's no mid range shots anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's like not obsolete, and it's like it's so funny because I was watching a couple of high school games. It's either I'm gonna make a highlight dunk or I'm gonna shoot a highlight three. Like, I'm trying to shoot from half court now. Like, come on, man. Like, dude, the percentage of you making that shot is slim enough. If you don't take it in the inside, it's like it's bad. It's bad. And it shows, like you said, generations. So it shows in these young players, these high school players, even the college games. Man, I was watching the Duke game yesterday, and it was the same thing. Like, it's like, oh my goodness, like, if y'all don't start taking it to the rack, you up by 20 some points, y'all still shooting threes. Like, it's mind blowing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I know South Carolina do, and you got the shirt on, so it just reminds you. That's a good team, man. She ain't letting them just shoot threes. They're taking it. Like, I was watching them the other day. Like, oh my goodness, this is a good team. I can see why they're in the top, always in the top now. Like, that's a. Mm-hmm. Mm, yeah. Oh yeah. Becky was probably. I think Becky may have been the toughest point guard. She was different, man. She was different. And you know what? I wish that it got as much recognition as it does today. But oh man, because she was great. She was probably have one of the best players I've ever seen play.
Well,
Female. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
or the Generals. Well, Tim, I want to thank you so much. I know you got to go. I know you got to cover that basketball game, but I want to thank you so much for giving us all your time, and I look forward to seeing you in a couple days. So thank you so much. And you have a wonderful night. Okay. Thanks, Tim. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, Tim. And that was Tim Shire with the Lake County Sentinel. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break right quick. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. We'll be right back. You okay? You all right?
Tired.
Yeah.
Man, in the gym.
Oh, that's good.
And then, working and doing radio, doing coaching.
So did you make your decision yet?
I didn't, man. Every time I pulled over towards Marshall, I went to like a little training session with the Richmond kids. Man, I'm like, man, these are good kids, and I'm like, man, I wouldn't mind like being there, but something about Marshall because I guess it's the Senate team. I'm like, man, it's calling my name, like so. But the thing about Spartans, we were just talking. They about to partner up with Richmond, about to partner up with Collinwood. That's my heart. I'm Collinwood for life. To try to start an inner-city rugby team for Collinwood, Richmond, and also like try to build up Collinwood's program. The Collinwood program is trash right now. So I'm like, man, I would love to help that out too. So I might be Marshall this year, but only for 1 year, just to help out Chris and then go figure out Collinwood.
Oh, you will go to Collinwood then?
That's my school.
That's right.
That's where I'm from.
You Collinwood alumni.
Oh man, and I would love because the program used to be so good.
There's our rugby program?
No, we got a football program. Our football program was so good, but I was trash. Like I've never seen a team only had like 22 kids, like if that many.
Oh my!
And I'm like, you have Collinwood Cobras right there. You have the Lake Erie Sharks right there. You can pull from them teams to build your team instead of letting these guys go everywhere else. But then with the coach ain't coaching. I put it that. His recruiting is horrible, so I wouldn't want to play with you. You need to make them come to your team. You know what I'm saying? You're not coaching us up or changing them to be men. So I really want to go help them out, but I don't like the coach. So I'll be leaving it alone. Yeah, I leave it alone because I don't like that coach. So I'm like, maybe if he leave, I'll go. But leaving the rugby team, I'm definitely gonna go.
This message is brought to you by the Legal Aid Society and WOVU 95.9. Our Voices United, a Guttenberg Fox Community Radio Station.
Welcome back to
All right, we're back. We just had a phone interview with Tim Shire of the Lake County Sentinel, and he was talking some Cleveland Cavaliers with us. We could have, gotten to a little football with him too, but he had to leave and cover a high school game tonight. So we are so thankful of his time. That's Tim Shire. You can follow him and you can follow his work. I forgot to get that information, but you can follow his work as well. You can Google the name Tim Shire, and not a lot of Tim Shires come up, but you can follow him on social media as well. And we got some comments. Mickey Delaney says, hi, Rachel, and hi, Brandy. Don't forget about Eddie as well.
Hi, I'm here.
So Eddie's here. So I'm going to tell him hi for you. Mickey says, hi, Eddie.
Hey, Mickey.
George says, the Browns need to hire Phil Dawson or assistant coach on the special team side and counsel our kicker on how to kick in our home field.
I think Phil Dawson is, ain't he a high school coach right now?
I think Phil Dawson is chilling.
I thought he was coaching down in Texas, a high school coach. And if he is, I don't think he's leaving Texas. It's warm out there right now. It's cold up here. Mm-hmm. It's cold at night. I should say because it was warm. It'd be warm in the day, cold at night. But no, I agree with you, George. I would definitely go hire Phil or what about Adam Vinatieri or something like that.
Yeah, I think Phil is coaching at a high school in Texas.
Yeah.
So Phil Dawson is.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
And he's from Texas. I guess he went to Texas too.
Yeah.
So. No, he's from Florida. He was born in Florida and he went to Texas for college.
But yeah, I thought he was coaching the team. I knew he was coaching a high school team down there. But yeah. So if I was them, I don't think Phil's gonna leave. I think the love of the game is his heart, and that's I don't care what level you make it. Coaching kids is a total. It's heartwarming. It's fun. Getting up here, getting to the pros, it'd be a little too serious. And I'm already rich, so I ain't looking for the money. Mm-hmm. So I'm okay with coaching high school, making six figures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, because that's how much they pay out there, which is crazy. And then also George said, agreed, Evan Mobley is not a three-point shooter, so I think we can all concur on that. Neither is Isaac or Coro as well. Me and Tim often talk about why are they taking these shots. You just hate to see it, especially when they miss really bad. But I wanted to get y'all thoughts on, coming into this second half of the season. What are you guys expecting from this team? And Eddie, I'll take you first.
I think mental toughness. I know you guys are young. I know. We keep using that young card, but that young card gotta go. Like we can't keep using it. At this point, we need mental toughness, physical toughness, and we need to show that we're a team. We're a playoff team. We are a team to be reckoned with. That's something that we definitely have to show. And consistency. I will take consistency over everything. Like I said, man, we can't come and play 1-2 quarters or three quarters. We need to play 4 full quarters. And even if we lose that quarter, I need to make sure that we need to see that, okay, that team was just a better team that day. You know what I'm saying? Not just we beat ourselves. But most of the games that I've seen, I'm not saying we should go undefeated, but most of the games you used to watch, it's like the Cavs beat ourselves. And it becomes bad. We're taking Evan Mobley threes or Coral threes, and Jonathan Mitchell would try to to me sometimes for that Kobe move where I'm gonna show you that y'all need me more than I need y'all. Let me step back and let y'all try to make me. Let me see how good y'all are, and try to prove a point those days. But yeah, that's what I feel. Consistency, and toughness is my overall assessment.
Mm-hmm. Brandy, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. The biggest thing is the inconsistencies for me too. Some of the games have definitely been frustrating to watch. In the second half of the season, they're definitely not going to be able to, play lightly. They're going to have to play well. The first game back from the break, they're going to be playing Denver. So that first game back is going to be a tough one. But, I think losing Kevin Love is going to be a little bit of adjustment. I think, hopefully Dean Wade can stay healthy because he's going to be playing there now. And, he's been on and off healthy, as well as Danny Green. He just
now who can make the threes.
See what he'll do.
Yeah. Who can match the threes that we're gonna be missing from Kevin Love? We got Danny Green for that now, but still, I agree with you, Brandy. Like that's they got to step up.
I think that you're going to have a team, hopefully coming off this break, that has a lot of killer instinct. One of the things about that Golden State game, and JB, I think he nailed it on the head, and he said this team didn't respect basketball and they didn't respect their opponent, and they thought that because they were, going against the bench, per se, is that they would easily win that game, and you saw that that's something that didn't happen. That bench showed up and they proved why they played in the NBA as well. And the Cavs did not win that game. So, I think it's been a couple wake up calls. I'll always, attribute this quote to Jason Lloyd. I think he was the original person who said it, but he said the good teams can play well for 5 minutes and win the game, usually at the end. And that's something that didn't happen. That's something that didn't happen against Golden State. It didn't happen against Philadelphia. So, this team going forward has to play the full 48 minutes. And there's no, breaks. You can't take off because now you're playing for a playoff position. Everything is pretty much close in the East. You got Boston pulling away with things, but you're still right there. Giannis Antetokounmpo is out right now, so who knows what's going to happen with Milwaukee because he has a sprained ligament. So who knows if Milwaukee will lose a couple games, but we have to expect better from the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they have to play better as well and strike while the iron is hot. They have the opportunity to come out this break against this Denver team, the best in the West right now, and they have the opportunity to make a strong statement at home. And also, right before going into the break, they were able to pull off a couple road wins, something that they struggled with. So those are good signs too. But Cleveland Cavaliers, they also have to play mistake-free basketball as well. Turnovers are going to be happening, but a lot of the turnovers that happen shouldn't when it comes to this team. So if they can keep the turnovers down, continue to play some of the best defense in the NBA, which they're doing, I think that they probably will be okay.
Yeah, I 100% agree. But like you were just stating, like one thing for sure, like consistency with them. Um, I feel like if you they can't like you were talking about the 5 minute the great teams can win in 5 minutes. Like I think if they could have kept it close, they would have definitely won the game against Philly if they had kept it close in the first half. Because like I said, that third and fourth quarter they came out firing. Like I think they scored like 46 points in the fourth quarter. And I mean they were balling. They lost by 2 points.
But they was tired too, having to play catch up the whole game.
You playing catch up the whole game, which will cause more fatigue because now you got to be running and gunning because you got to try to catch up. Where if you were playing consistent, like if you play consistent, who knows if you had just who knows if you guys would have been that. You know what I'm saying? You guys, like I said, that the last 2 quarters y'all played phenomenal, man. It was just that first half was, that first half was tough to watch. That was really tough to watch against Philly. So against Denver, I think coming out against Denver, like you said, the best in the West right now. I think we gotta definitely play inside out, and I think Danny Green. I know you fresh coming off with the Cavs, but this will be a new atmosphere for you with us, with this particular team, I should say. I think you're gonna definitely have to step up, and Mitchell got to do Mitchell. He gotta be Spider, and Garland, don't force it. Play the kind of basketball you've been playing lately. Don't try to force it. And then I think we'll be okay.
Now Danny is back where it all began, and they gave up on him too soon. So I'm sure he ain't complaining. He went out and got his 3 rings. So I'm sure that he really don't care about that. But it's just kind of funny how life works sometimes. They didn't want you. They wanted you, but gave up on you, and then called you back. So I know he has the last laugh right now. So that is what it is. But I'm expecting to see a lot out of this team. I'm expecting them to I think provided everybody can stay healthy, I'm not expecting them to have another playing game. I expect this to be maybe Milwaukee, they might even be able to slip into that third seed. You never know with, Milwaukee not having Giannis. So that'll be interesting to see what happens.
But Giannis only out for he can play tomorrow if he wants to.
Oh dang! Well, I hope he don't want to.
They said it's pretty much what he feels. It's like a strain. It's not a sprain or anything.
Dang.
So he can be back anytime he feels good. He can be back.
Dang. Well, hopefully he'll want to rest a little bit.
Rest a lot.
Yeah. That way to gear up on the postseason run. So hopefully he'll want to rest a little bit and he doesn't want to play. So what did you think of the All-Star game?
Oh, horrible.
What about that weekend overall?
I thought the weekend was great. I think the dunk contest was revitalized. Well, only 2 people revitalized it, but because the other guys were kind of trash. But I don't know the kid's name. I don't want to call him the WB. I'm gonna just say he was that dude was good, man. The guy who won the dunk contest. My goodness, he showed us some new dunks. I was like, man, I ain't seen that in a minute. Like, let's go. So I like the dunk contest. I like, what game was good though? I would tell you what games was good. The games that was good, and I think the NBA the All-Star game should go like this. I think the up and coming game, I think those games were really good. Where I think Paul Gasol team won, but I think that's how they should do the All-Star game from now on. That's a good concept, and it made it competitive. So I think that's how they should do it.
I didn't watch a lot of the All-Star game because it just wasn't. Well, I watched the All-Star game. I just didn't watch, like the celebrity game and slam dunk contest and stuff like that,
Okay.
Or whatever. So
you didn't watch the rookie sophomore? Well,
I caught some of that. I caught some of that.
Those were good. Those what I'm talking about was actually good.
Yeah, I caught, Evan Mobley playing in that game because I wanted to see how he did. But I didn't watch the dunk contest because the dunk contest, I'm just mad at LeBron for ruining that. Because other stars would participate. Now you don't have none of the stars participating. Like scared they're gonna lose and it's gonna tarnish his legacy. I think that's the reason why LeBron James hasn't done it. He was scared he was gonna lose.
Well, I can agree. I know that's why he didn't do it. But honestly, like if you ever watch LeBron, we've been watching LeBron a long time. LeBron James dunks aren't creative. Like they're powerful, but they've never really been. Even when he do the dunks in the beginning of the game before they've never been really creative. So I understand why he didn't join. I know everybody wanted him to join because of his name, like Michael Jordan did, but Michael Jordan dunks even in game was creative.
Mm-hmm.
Like he created a windmill dunk in the game in game. the creative it was in game. So Vince Carter dunks in game was creative. LeBron dunks in game was just powerful. It's not really that creative. So I understand why he didn't join. You know what I'm saying? Because clearly his creative mind isn't there.
Yeah. So I don't appreciate that, watering it down and stuff like that. What do you think about Donovan Mitchell having 40 points?
I mean, in the All-Star game, it wasn't really impressive. I'm sorry. Who didn't have 40 plus points? I mean, it was horrible. Like it was a glorified layup line. Like that's all it was, a glorified layup line.
Yeah, there was absolutely no defense being played at all. Nobody went to the free throw line.
Like I thought, like back in the day where it was like back in the days in the 90s and early 2000s, it was a light game. It was a light fun game. But when that third and fourth quarter came, they halfway through the third quarter, that's when they picked it up and they started playing defense. And and that fourth quarter was all defense. Like it was a real basketball game in the fourth quarter. This one, there was no defense at all. It was like we shouldn't even did it.
Yeah, I agree. So a little MLB news right quick. Jason Kipnis has retired from baseball.
What?
Yeah, you didn't hear about that today?
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, he's retired from baseball. So, obviously he had a great legacy in Cleveland. He was a 2-time All-Star and he helped Cleveland win the pennant. His home run came so close that it could have been a game winner in Game 7 in 2016, but it instead went foul. So, that could have been the legendary thing that he could have been known for more than anything. But congratulations to Jason Kipnis, and he had a pretty good career. Drafted here with the Cleveland Indians at that time, and then went and played for the Chicago Cubs, his hometown team, for a season. And then he was playing in the minor leagues. I can't forget which franchise for it, but he was playing in the minor leagues last year. And, somebody who's been in the majors, they ain't going to want to do that. So, he retired, and who knows what the next chapter is. But I want to thank him for his service and, wish him the best in his future endeavors. So, he got a couple $1 million. So, happy for him. What are your thoughts about his legacy, really quickly?
I think he had a great legacy. Actually, I think he's definitely gonna make the Hall of Fame.
The Hall of
I
Fame?
think he'll be a Hall of Famer.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Why not?
Nah, I don't think
put up the numbers.
I don't think he hit enough home runs. He was one of the.
Okay, take away home runs, but he put up good numbers.
His defense wasn't that great.
He was very solid. He was very solid. Put up. I mean, I'm not a first ballot, but I think with the people that have been getting in lately, I don't see why he couldn't get in. I mean, think about some of the people who's in there right now. Like, I'm like, yo, like he definitely can get in. Like he was a solid player for years. So yeah, I'll give it to him.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, but I know that we had a great show today. I want to thank you to Brandy. I want to thank you to Eddie, the frontman, and thanks to Tim Shire from the Lake County Sentinel. You've been listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM, and we are out of here.
Peace. Oh man, thank you so much. Sorry I'm late.
Huh?
Sorry I was late.
Oh, you good? You came in right?
I was rushing late. I'm like, all right. I'm like, okay, I'm 4 minutes away, and I got literally, I'm 3 minutes away. I got 4 minutes to get there. What? That's how I was when I was on the freeway. The accident, right as soon as I left. Like, these people can't drive, man.
Why you bring up an old law school building?